because of not understanding God's principles and wanting to be in his will, that's why people steal. That's why people are so greedy. So you take that which does not even belong to you. You're so greedy, because you don't believe that God can provide for you what you want. And plus, you want excess. For what? If God does not want you to have that excess. Because for every blessing he gives, it has a purpose.
This city here, I didn't know what I had signed up for. But I am loving what it's making me do in terms of introspect. In terms of, I'm looking at my life and I'm like, in fact, let me ask this question.
Yeah.
I want to talk more about the costs. So you come back, I want to have the conversation about the place where your friends are offering you a job.
Yes.
And you're not taking it.
Yeah.
You see, I've heard your whole story.
Yeah.
So I'm able to put pieces together. And also remember, I'm on the other side.
Yes.
Where I can see how we've ended up in this space.
Yeah.
People must have thought you were not okay. That place messed you.
Yes. And it cost me even further. Because, you see, you've come out of prison. Your stakes aren't looking good. You don't have certificate of good conduct. Your reputation has gone to the dogs. I mean, come on, let's count what's on the table. You don't have much left. And here are the few who have decided to stick by your side and see how best do we support our friend.
Wow.
And some, they are making sure you've got the money for diapers, you've got some money, even making your nails, your hair. Like, they are going out of their way as your friends to support you as you rebuild, because they understand where you're coming from and what your life currently is looking like. And
they believe in you to go back.
Yes.
To get back.
To get back. They have faith in you. They have love for you. They care. They don't want to just leave you by yourself. And most people have left already. And I remember, the conversations were around what business would you like to do? People were really out there to support me. And I remember a friend who went all the way to even some bank owners, negotiated on my behalf. Like, this friend of mine is standing in the gap and saying to the bank owners, employ her and I am the reference, because I don't have certificate. Like, all the checks, like, I won't tick all the boxes. Yes, and this has happened to her. She has just come back from prison.
Okay.
And someone is standing in the gap for you. And people are like, well, if you can refer her, then we will employ her. So a bank job is on the table. Your friends are happy. Your family is super grateful that someone has stood in the gap. And the day for reporting to work comes. And my conscience couldn't allow. My conscience couldn't allow. And I know I've got a child here. I have no work. I don't even
no money.
I don't even remember the last time I have been to a bank or an ATM to check my account or anything, because where is money coming from? You've used all your savings. Anything you had ever saved has either gone to the case or survival this far. And here are your friends saying, here's a job. A bank job, meaning you can grow as you do whatever else and rebuild yourself. And Richie, let me say this. Before the reporting day, believe you me, even for me to attend that interview and show up in that space of considering this job, I had contemplated it because of the realities that I'm going through. I'm so depressed. By the way, after I experienced that social stigma, I hit another deep depression. I was contemplating suicide.
For real.
And I was not only contemplating suicide for myself, but for my daughter as well.
What?
Because I was reasoning it this way. If this world is so cruel to me, why would I want to leave my daughter, my sweet little angel, in the hands of this cruel world? Wherever I'm going with her. And every time I was contemplating suicide, my question was, how do I ensure that we live at the same time? None of us remains. That's what was going on in my mind as I was that's how depressed I was. And my friends are here trying to support me to get out of this depression. And
First of all, that's so shocking. You are not depressed because you were in prison. You're not depressed because you were wrongfully accused.
no,
You're depressed because community
has rejected me. They want nothing to do with me.
Wow.
Because I'm an ex-con. Because I'm a failure. I represent shame. I represent everything they would not want to be associated with. And they know I was innocent.
Yeah.
But instead of extending empathy, they would rather disassociate because of what that brokenness represents. But it's a very good point that you have raised, because I was contemplating suicide. A woman I served time with, and she was serving a 5-year sentence with her son. So I met her there at Langata Women Maximum Prison. I completed my 1-year term and left. She continued with her sentence. When she got out, she didn't complete even a year on the outside. She scorched herself and her son.
What?
Dead. Gone. Why? The social stigma. And what is this social stigma about? You're a formerly incarcerated woman. You must be a criminal. You must be horrible. When she went back to her village. And this continues to date, whereby people are coming out of prisons desiring empathy, desiring support to rebuild their lives. But what does the world do? What does the community do?
What does the church do?
That's a very good question. I have formerly incarcerated women who have been kicked out of church. Church. I mean, it's in the Bible. Visit the prisoners. It's a mandate that Jesus gave. It's not like God disassociates. Plus, he set the perfect example. He went to the broken. He went to those who are bound. That's where he went, to the outcasts of society. And he went to offer them redemption. As a matter of fact, his coming to this world was to offer us redemption. But how do we take that redemption and not want to extend it to those who need it the most? Anyway,
when you talked of your story, God allows you to get to the step before death. And I'm so sad to put it like that.
Yeah.
When you're in prison.
Yes. The next step post that is death.
And now and then your story, every time you think it's woohoo, it's like God is like, no. There's a post.
Yeah.
There's a pre-living prison, there's a in prison, and now there's a post-living prison.
Yeah.
And you still have to learn this.
Yes, it's a lesson you have to learn. Because what I thought my lessons were done the day I was released
Okay.
from prison. I didn't know there's another school. Because had I been accepted by the society,
Yeah.
I would never have related with the reality of what it's like to leave prison and join society in this country. I would be wondering, what are you talking about? And mind you, all this is happening and I have the cushion of my family. They have no cushion. They don't have a cushion of a family they go to. A mother, a father, siblings who are waiting for them to come and cushion them. They don't have that. They hit those streets, look for their children, and start to figure it out. So I really felt it. And after going through the depression, then this woman leaves and commits suicide, scorches herself. That wasn't foreign to me. I truly understood why she did it. Because the idea of death and leaving this world is more attractive than living another day.
So, yeah. Now, so you're in this depression, but you at least have these friends who are supporting you.
Yeah. But they're getting tired.
Yeah, that's why, yes. Because are you telling them about this new?
So all I'm talking about is this dream that I have about how I'll set up this organization. And this organization will offer these women and their children a way out of this cycle. Why? When I was in prison, I saw them leave, come right back. How they would cry the day they are released because they don't want to go out, because they have nowhere to go. Plus, as I'm doing all this for all these women, because on a daily basis, others are still coming in as others leave, we need to change the system to stop this from happening. So this is what I want to do. And I cannot unsee what I have seen.
You have to poke your eyes again to go blind.
Surely. Yeah. I have seen the reality on the ground. So, and then I have completed now my lessons in the stigma I have experienced post-incarceration.
So it's time for
I have
action.
The full circle.
It's not time to go back the bank.
From arrest, prosecution, into prison, and out, I know the pain. I know that journey. I know what these women are going through. And now, one has committed suicide as I watch, not another one. So I say no to the bank job.
Yes, but now what does that mean?
That means tomorrow I will wake up and ask for support with diapers.
What do you mean?
I have nothing to care for myself or my child.
So you're going back to the same people who've given you a job.
And I've said no to. And saying to them,
I need diapers.
I need diapers. I need to photocopy some of these things that I've been writing.
Oh my God.
To support me and they're looking at me like, so at that point, everyone is thinking, this system has really affected her. She's not okay. Because someone who is okay, there is no way they would choose this over a job, security, and an income. No way. And who are these again that she keeps talking about?
Okay.
Prisoners, criminals. What are you talking about, Teresa? Is there someone else you know who has done this? Like, is there proof of concept before you get deep into this thing? And
just move that thing.
And they're now even thinking of the mental hospitals, psychiatrists that I can see. Because now they're empathetic. They love me. They care for me. But they're looking at the decisions I'm making. They don't make sense. They're not logical. So they're even thinking, how can she get treatment so that she gets better? but I'm stuck to what I want to do.
So this vision is burning inside you.
It's burning inside me, Richard.
But that
It's
means are you
burning
willing to leave these people then?
the
ones who
the ones who want to
your
care
friends.
for me? Yes.
In fact, how can you continue a friendship?
Exactly. Because my friend is telling me, take this option. It will better your life, that of your child. Plus, from what remains, you can even care for those people. Now you have nothing. So she's making all the sense. I get it. But guess what? It's coming in the way of what I need to do.
And what was this thing? And I'm not asking the action. I'm asking it from the perspective of, did you feel like you had gone through everything in your life and now this was your new calling? Or did you feel like you had arrived at a point where now you couldn't do both? And this, like, I'm trying to get it from not the action of the day-to-day of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because let me say why I'm saying this. That decision is illogical.
True. I get it. So how do you go ahead and choose it? And as a mother, the first decision you make is that which protects your child. Notwithstanding, I'm still going with this decision. And that's why I say that the truth that changes you is the one you live through. I had seen too much to go back. I had tasted death. Whether it was in prison or whether it was through my depression case. I had tasted it. There wasn't any other worse off situation than what I had already been through. The only way now was up. How we're going to go up is not through another mask.
Wow. Oh, I get that.
I'm not going to mask myself because what will society say? No, let them say.
But that was going to be costly. It is costly.
Very costly because I'm going to lose my friends. This is a risk I'm taking.
Has Njoroge already gone?
So Njoroge has really never been like, you know what, you go sink by yourself. Even though I did not accept to do as he wanted for me to do, I think he decided, you know what, let me allow her to do this which she wants to do, even though I'm not in agreement with how she wants to do it. But
wow, that's good.
It's God.
That's God, yes.
It's God. And first and foremost, I have a daughter here as I also figure out myself. So he never up and left, and even though we went our separate ways,
I get it.
He still remained in the peripheries. And I don't think he wished me, I don't think he carried that grudge. Of course, the pain was there. The pain of, I've waited this long. And instead of you choosing our family, this is what you've chosen.
Teresa, you went all into faith.
Instead of choosing us, your people who have been there, waiting for you to come on the other side.
Yeah.
When you came to the other side, You left.
You know, let me say this. There's no one listening to this who understands faith and God who thinks you made the wrong decision.
True.
In fact, one of two things. One, either we don't have the courage
Yeah.
to do what it is that you did,
Yeah.
but we all want to do that.
Yes.
When I hear your story, I look at it from the essence of this is exactly the kind of life that God expects of us.
Yeah.
Completely surrendered to Him
Yeah.
at the cost of everything.
At the cost of everything.
The place where people now begin to have an issue with you is one and one thing only, where logic comes in.
Yeah.
On the
That's
basis
it.
of faith, we all get it. We
Yeah.
all ask, woohoo!
Yes.
We're not saying woohoo, we are,
Gosh.
yeah, somebody can. Human beings who are real and not in the Bible actually live like this.
Yes.
You get what I mean?
I know. You're living this, and this could give you options of going to the US, going to become a citizen in the US, you know, and that
Even
life,
moving away from
Yes, moving-
people who have the history.
exactly, and starting afresh. You're living that. Jobs on the table, bank, security. This is, plus, remember, this is all I ever wanted, to be in the banking world. And
yeah.
here it is being offered to you like this. And you're like, no.
Okay. How then do you, what then, where do we, actually one last one. And only if you want to talk about it. Your whole life, the whole story, you've had this support system called your family.
Yeah.
Are your family with you now in this stage?
They are.
When you decide to go, not today,
Yes.
when you decide now I'm going in for the incarceration, they didn't go?
They didn't go.
Hey, family is priceless.
And when I didn't report to the banking job, my dad called me and he asked to have a conversation with me. And he asked me, why didn't you take the job? And I say to him, I really want to start this organization to do this work for the incarcerated and formerly incarcerated. He asked me, what support do you need from me?
What?
He gave me the funds
No way.
to register that organization. He gave me the space, which was to be my first space on his compound. And he told me, you see that space there, that house over there? You can take that space, use it. When I went to register the organization, I was told that I needed a co-director. I couldn't register it by myself, and NIS needed to do some checks on me before I was given the limited, the company limited by guarantee status. And I went back home and I said what I've been told. And my dad said, I'll be the co-director. Whatever you need, I will stand with you. And that's all I needed.
Did NYS find your background?
They did. They found everything. But I was very honest. That's my background. And the reason why I'm setting this organization is because of this background. And they okayed me. And I began.
And of course, at this time, you have the good conduct certificate and the appeal showing that.
All that, the appeal, the compensation. By the way, when I went to civil court, the bank did not compensate me. They said, let's go for an appeal. Because the bank was like, no, we're not accepting these results. But the government compensated me. When the government compensated me,
The government of Kenya compensated
the
you?
government of Kenya, I was called to go to the Attorney General's office to pick my banker's check for my compensation. I went. I was not asked even for a cent.
Does the judge announce how much the compensation has to be?
Yes.
Okay, good.
They announce.
It's not done. They don't just decide what amount they're giving you.
No, they don't just decide. But now, if I take that compensation from the government, what that means is that I cannot now pursue the bank, because what I have settled for the lesser, because it was the bank that initiated. So they held the most culpability. The government only did its job after the bank took the case to them.
Oh, I get. So you can't get both compensations.
You should, but if you take one, then that's where the story ends, because I took the government. So the bank said, we want to go for appeal. The government said, we want to compensate.
What?
So when I took the government's compensation, I said, I don't want to continue with the appeal. I was so tired of the courts. So, like, those courts had really
I know you're not saying the bank's name, but I'm so pissed.
Well, you know, I have never gotten pissed by that bank. And the reason why I've never been pissed about that bank, the only time I started catching those feelings was this point where I'm so depressed after prison and my life looks dark. It was only at that season that I was like, why did they mess my life like this? At that point. But as soon as I began to see my light, I left them.
Wow.
Because for me, I started looking at things from a very different perspective.
You're like Joseph. God, this is all your plan.
Yes. I had gained so much more than they will ever pay me.
Wow.
Even up to eternal life. Like, there is no other place I'd rather be than in the will of God. And if you took that bank to betray me and throw me into those pits, so be it, for eternal life and the will of God. So the pain that they caused was outweighed by
the gain.
How God compensated in his ways through his will. And I want to clarify and say that it does not mean that in the will of God, there is, sometimes people think you will be swimming in money, there are no problems, it is, the super highway. Not at all. You're continuing to walk with God, but he's now teaching you his principles. For example, I could go into my bank account and I'm like, that's where we're at. But guess what? He will sustain us. Before, cash equaled
sustenance.
Exactly.
Without that cash, you can't be sustained.
Exactly. Not anymore. Not anymore. He teaches you his principles, his way of life. I've been able to do quite some bit. What I've been able to do is not equivalent to my ability. Not cash-wise, not strength-wise, not wisdom-wise, none of those. But that result is the result of being aligned in his will. You do your best, obediently and willingly. Then he does the rest. All he needs for you, obedience and willingness to do his will. Then he does everything else. Then people are like, oh, look at what you've been able to do. It's God who has been able to do that. But before, I equated my output to my input. Right now, that input, he multiplies.
I say something very controversial to people. I say there's no correlation between work and income.
Completely.
In some people's worlds,
Yes.
the only way you can get, okay, let me not even use income, provision.
Yeah.
There's no correlation.
Yeah.
There are people who do absolutely nothing and get provided for.
And that is why.
And it's a difficult
very
one
difficult.
to explain. Like the Israelites being given food.
Exactly.
Just being told.
Yeah. You wake up and it will be provided for. And that is because of not understanding God's principles and wanting to be in his will. That's why people steal. That's why people are so greedy. So you take that which does not even belong to you. You're so greedy, you know, because you don't believe that God can provide for you what you want. And plus, you want excess. For what? If God does not want you to have that excess. Because for every blessing he gives, it has a purpose. I mean, you can only have so much. We've only eaten one plate each. You know, no matter how big your stomach is, you'll get full.
Okay, let me ask them. Then let's enter this organization.
Yes.
So when you register it, you register it as a trust.
I register
As an
it
NGO?
as a company limited by guarantee.
Uh-huh.